Hi again, everyone. Thank you for coming today. Today we have the webinar planned for 3 ways of streamlining orders in fashion wholesale. I did say this a little bit earlier, but I wanted to thank everyone for attending today, and also make sure everyone feels really free to pop questions across to myself and Michael throughout the webinar. And if there's any technical difficulties, anyone's not able to follow what we're going through, there's also a chat functionality, so please feel free to utilize that. Hosting the webinar today is myself. My name's Ty. I'm a senior pre-sales consultant at Brightpearl. And with me today, I have Michael Berry, who heads up sales and marketing for Rechannel. So we're going to start with a brief overview of both of our businesses, in case anyone isn't familiar with what we do. And we'll then step into the main section of today. So for anyone that doesn't know what Brightpearl does, we position ourselves as a multi-channel retail management platform. And what this means is we allow businesses, predominantly multi-channel businesses who might be selling through e-commerce, wholesale, and a physical shop, to integrate all of their key business processes into one easy-to-manage platform. We set out as a business to enable growing independent retailers and wholesalers the technology they need to compete with the big companies out there. Michael, are you able to just give a quick high level of Rechannel before we step into the agenda for today?
Yes, certainly. And good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for introducing me, Ty. Rechannel is a B2B wholesale ordering platform where apparel brands present collections and buyers place orders directly with those brands. We integrate very easily with Brightpearl. Recently, we've been a partner of the month. Typically, as a company, we assist brands by reducing their ordering time by 50%. Brands we currently work with are Oliver Brown, Goldie London, and Wilder.
Perfect. So to step into the main agenda for today's webinar, I'm going to start off by giving Michael a brief introduction. Michael's going to take you through the majority of the webinar today. So Michael has worked for almost 15 years in fashion retail, merchandising, and buying. He has a broad knowledge of the fashion industry, that's both across retail and wholesale. Michael's worked in full price buying for 10 years in Selfridges, and that's across several departments ranging everywhere from lingerie, menswear, and toys. And following on from this, he's worked at Ralph Lauren as a buyer for their e-commerce buying division. Michael has a really in-depth knowledge of off-pricing world, having worked with Brand Alley and Ashika as a buyer. Michael's going to be stepping through a couple of points today for everyone, and that's going to be the challenges facing brands when processing orders, and also talking to the 3 ways you're able to streamline your wholesale process. How to expand your brand internationally, finding ways in which you can reduce admin and order processing time, and how to increase control of your business.
That's great. Thank you, Ty. Yes, just to embellish on that, over my 15 years as a retail buyer, one of the biggest challenges was not just the sheer volume of work I faced on a daily basis, but also the speed with which we had to work within a fast-paced and customer-centric retail environment. Many fashion brands experience these exact same challenges also, which there are many examples of. Firstly is the cumbersome use of Excel and order sheets. Excel is intrinsic to our office day lives. However, it can be timely to go through those formulas. Also, files can be lost, files can be corrupt. It's a clumsy way in terms really farming data, and it can also really delay communication, especially when the files are lost or they're just simply too complicated to read. Also, what brands had encountered was countless calls and emails, double checking data, making sure data is correct, emailing it, double checking, calling up when people aren't available to get hold of. Also, multiple orders and product changes are also a big bugbear for brands. Many days could be spent processing orders, waiting for people to come back into office. Also, just getting data across to people quickly and able to communicate that in a fast and timely manner can be a huge challenge for brands. I think also costly travel and showroom expenses as well. Brands often invite retailers over to showrooms in remote locations, even as remote as North London, and also the expenses involved with doing that. Samples also adds to companies' costs and also reduce margins as well. So these are some of the ways in which buyers and certainly brands can be really slowed down in terms of their order processing. Understanding these challenges and blockers brings me neatly onto Rechannel, was established 2 years ago. Rechannel was founded in 2012 as a result of a very simple observation. Why is it so easy for us to buy anything we want as consumers online, yet brands still sell to their retailers via Excel, email and order? Rechannel have answered this question by developing a platform that helps fashion brands to sell to retailers more effectively. With Rechannel, brands have a platform that integrates with their systems, so their buyers can place orders directly and avoid most of the hassle and complexity associated with paper, PDF and Excel orders. This philosophy has been echoed by the brands that we work with as well. Goldie, London, we work with an East London-based brand who have been incredibly successful and have had a meteoric rise in fame globally. One of their quotes, kindly put, was, "Too many time is spent managing paper line sheets, Excel order forms and calls from buyers to check pricing availability." Rechannel resolves a lot of these tasks and processes. We can now spend more time working with clients and selling. That was from Wayne Blizzard, the MD of Goldie. Goldie was onboarded and fully integrated with Rechannel within 2 days, used to market products across hundreds of buyers of 4 continents using Rechannel, and also they had an increased sell-through of current stock. Their sister brand, Valda, is also signed up as well. Goldie Wholesale have a ERP using Brightpearl. Based on these observations, I wanted to illustrate the 3 key ways Rechannel can streamline a brand's wholesale business. Firstly, marketing your brand globally with minimal effort. With Rechannel, you can present your collection to new buyers anywhere in the world in different currencies. Also, we can allow busy buyers to place orders directly and quickly into your stock system. And you can allow buyers to view an elegantly and branded ordering portal, which really helps with the added expense of having to produce catalogues and line sheets. You no longer have that. Second, dramatically reduce the pain of order processing. Dramatically reduce order processing time up to 50%. Also sell up-to-date stock in real time and minimal effort. Reduce design and printing and postal costs of paper line sheets and catalogues by migrating over to digital line sheet portal. And the third, control of when selling to your brand. You control what the buyers see. You can create bespoke line sheets which you can market and sell to those brands, and those brands can only see what you want them to see. Also, you can empower sales agents to easily manage their accounts, and you can see which buyers have opened specially created line sheets that you've assigned to them. I hope that clearly explains the solutions and benefits we offer to brands and their retail buyers. Thank you for listening, and I'd like to hand you back over to Ty.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Michael. We're going to take another break for 2 or 3 minutes here, just to let everyone in the audience ask some questions. Both myself and Michael are happy to field questions, so people please pop them in the question facility and go to webinar, and I'll answer any questions on Brightpearl, and we'll pass any questions on Rechannel over to Michael. I am going to be popping myself on mute for a couple of minutes to let you do that. Whilst people are thinking of questions, Rechannel have also very kindly written a white paper about what they're able to do and the benefits they're able to offer clients. This white paper is now available online, and anyone who's interested in this, please note down the URL where you're able to access this and have a read of that in your own time. I've been told it's very informative by our marketing team, and I'll be having a read after the presentation today as well. Brilliant. So we've had 10 or 15 really good questions come across. Anyone wants to ask anything, we'll just leave it for 1 minute longer. In the meantime, we'll work through the questions and try and pick out those which are most relevant to the entire audience. Anyone whose questions we don't manage to pick up on today's call, we will answer those for you, and it's possible that we'll either get in contact with email or potentially ask for a quick telephone call to cover them off if they're a little bit more specific to your business. But we'll try and get through as many as possible, and we'll be picking those questions which are relevant to everyone on the call as opposed to specific people's businesses. So please bear with us. Perfect. Michael, I have 4 questions here. I think are going to be the ones which I think the most people on the call will be eager to hear about. So I'm just going to get straight into the first question. And the first question we have is it's actually a question about how easy it is to integrate Rechannel and Brightpearl to work together.
The answer to that is very easily. We've already integrated brands that use Brightpearl. So they use Brightpearl for their stock system. So all the initial integration hard work's been done. So essentially, whenever a new brand comes on that's using Brightpearl, we simply have to change the instance, which means some small amounts of configuration. So we're already pretty much well set up for that. So we're in a very good place. It typically takes 1 day.
Perfect. Question number 2 we have coming in was how Rechannel works with different price lists and currencies. This was actually quite a popular one. A couple of people had asked this one.
Yeah, we are an international platform, so many brands have used us to really scale their businesses in different countries and different currencies. A brand can create different price lists and associate these with different retailers. So we really don't have any limitations on that whatsoever. So we really are an international B2B tool.
Brilliant. Question number 3 is this one's around stock management. So how does stock update on Rechannel, and how do reorders work?
Okay, the brand stock file is constantly updated in Rechannel in real time. When the brand receives reorders from the retail buyer, they can choose which orders to accept first. Each time an order is accepted, the brand stock file is updated in turn, and that's reflected in Rechannel. Stock updates are pretty much instant. So we really aim to market stock in real time, which is particularly important for brands placing reorders with stock that's already available.
Wonderful. I think this is a question that's come up in a number of different ways. Really, generally, that there's a couple of people that are asking how their sales agents are able to use Rechannel as a tool. So I was just wondering if you could give a high-level answer to that question, and then we could follow up some more specifics that people have asked.
Yeah, sure. A lot of the brands we work with already, they have sales agents, whether they be in the UK or abroad. A brand can easily control which products the sales agents can sell and who those sales agents can sell those products to. So, for example, you may have a French sales agent that only really has permission to sell to retail buyers in France, and they only have specific products they can sell due to territorial agreements. That is something we've developed, and it's something that gives the brand greater power.
Wonderful. Well, thanks everyone for fielding those questions. As I said, there's a couple of questions that we haven't been able to cover off today. We want to make sure that the ones we are ones that have either come up a couple of times or are going to apply to a lot of the people that have joined the presentation today. I have 5 or 6 which I'm aware we haven't answered, but we will be following up, so that don't think we've forgotten you on that note. In terms of anyone that's interested in what Rechannel have spoken about today, on the screen now we should be able to see Rechannel's website, telephone and email information. And if anyone's got any questions for Brightpearl or would like any more information about what Brightpearl does, our contact details are also there. I'm going to leave the meeting running for another couple of minutes in case anyone has any kind of follow-up questions. We won't be covering those off today, but we'll leave the panel open so people can field those before dropping off the webinar today. I'd like to thank everyone for joining. Thanks, Michael, very much for running us through that. And I'm sure there's a lot of clients out there that are going to be really interested in what you're doing. Definitely an exciting piece of software.
Great, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.